if we needed any more proof, we got it. Beyonce is a devil worshiper, in my opinion. And I say in my opinion for legal purposes. But everything that I'm about to show you is going to support my opinion. Thank God for the release of the Epstein files, even though we're not seeing as many consequences and as many convictions and arrests that we probably would like to see. The Epstein files have allowed us to have conversations about what's going on in the industry and the music industry, the entertainment industry, these business rooms, because a lot of the people that are included in these files are high profile celebrities and business people. And that allows us to have conversations about things that people would have written off as conspiracy theories in the past. But now these things are coming to light. And because of the crazy things that people were, the quote unquote crazy things that people would say, the Pizzagate and the Epstein Island and all those different things that people would talk about in the past being proven correct by the Epstein files, now we can have real conversations about the other stuff that's going on in these industries. And this is one of those things. Beyonce being an alleged devil worshiper. And she worships different deities. And I believe it's based on whatever her need is at the time, in her opinion. So, like, if she has a performance or she has an album coming out, the Lemonade album, she's going to worship Oshun at the time, the false god. For the Cowboy Carter album, she worshiped Hathor, the false god. And I'm going to show you all those different things. These are all opinion-based things, just for legal purposes. But I'm going to show you my evidence. And then we're going to talk about all the Beyonce's friends that are caught up in the Epstein files, as well as her name being tied up in the Epstein files, as well as her husband being tied up. It said Jay-Z got 86 mentions in the Epstein files. They only told us about one. So we're going to talk about that a little bit as we go through the live stream. Welcome to the live stream. If you've never been here, my name is Will Evans. Welcome to Will Evans Live. I'm your host. We run a pretty tight ship over here. We go through the content pretty quick. First, giving the glory and honor to my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, Yeshua HaMashiach. And we're going to pray and we're going to start the content. If you want to be in the chat, you got to make sure you subscribe to the channel. If you're not subscribed, you can't comment. So only subscribers can comment. If you want to donate to the growth of the channel, you can do so on Cash App at ULegend, ULGND, right there in the bottom corner of the screen. Let's pray and let's get started, man. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for another day, Lord. Thank you for being the King of the universe. Thank you for being the King of kings and Lord of lords, guys. As we talk about some of this dark information, I ask that you protect the spirits of the people that's watching and listening. And Lord, I ask that you continue comforting us, covering us, and giving us strength and wisdom to use our discernment in this evil world that we live in, God. And we pray that you come back soon. In the name of Jesus Christ. Amen. Let's do this, man. Let's jump into this content, man. Now, Beyonce, if you look at what she's wearing, this is a promo for her Cowboy Carter album, I believe. You look at this photo here. Let me put it full screen. You can see it's a depiction of the false god, false Egyptian goddess, Hathor. Now, you can see that the similarities, the cow horns, the cow print, and that's because Hathor was a false goddess of fertility. And I have a little bit of information about pretty much everything about Hathor right here from a report. It says Hathor, also known as Het Heru, is a goddess from ancient Egyptian mythology, considered one of the most important and versatile deities in Pantheon. She is often depicted as a woman with the head of a cow, or sometimes a lioness-headed figure. Hathor is associated with love, beauty, music, dance, fertility. So, and also motherhood, by the way, which we know that Beyonce fans call her what? Mother. That's what a lot of these Beyonce fans call her, and they submit to the cult by doing so, in my opinion. So all those things I think are interesting because those are all things we also associate with Beyonce, right? Love, beauty, music, dance, fertility, and motherhood. Anyways, the false goddess Hathor, also known as Het Heru, was also considered a goddess of joy, celebration, and feminine power. Aren't those all things that we associate with Beyonce as well? Hathor was often depicted as a nurturing and protective deity, particularly her role as the divine mother who cared for the deceased in the afterlife. She was also sometimes called the Lady of the West. Where does Beyonce live? In the West, in America. So she was represented by the cow, like the false goddess Hathor was always worshiping using the cow as altars. as altars. So when you see the cow print pictures from Beyonce, and you see the Cowboy Carter tour, and you see all these different look at all these different photos of Beyonce wearing cow print. All this is just worship for whatever reason. And we know that Beyonce's fans call her mother. So, it's a lot of devil worship and witchcraft going on behind the scenes. You see all these different pictures, right? Look at this video from Beyonce. People were putting this online saying that this is a creepy video of Beyonce talking. I want you guys to see it for yourself. And just, we're going to go through some more stuff.
The old notes of downfall, discord, despair no longer resonate. Our generations of loved ones before us are whispering a prophecy, a quest, a calling, an anthem.
People also had this video of Beyonce during a performance during the Cowboy Carter tour, which they said she did some witchcraft and stopped the rain temporarily. And I thought this was kind of creepy too. Look. Rain stops. And then when she puts her hands down, the rain keeps falling again. That's creepy. I ain't gonna lie. That was creepy. That kind of freaked me out a little bit too. I was like, yo, what? That was weird. I ain't never seen nobody do no weird stuff like that. So that, Beyonce has been accused of witchcraft for a long time. And, it's not uncommon to hear that about Beyonce. Because, when you look at the depictions of different things, it would seem that there's some credibility to it. Now, here's an interesting thing. There was an ex-drummer for Beyonce that filed a restraining order alleging extreme witchcraft. So this woman used to work for Beyonce. Her name is Kimberly Thompson. And she reported claims that she suffered from Beyonce's magic spells of sexual molestation and that Beyonce murdered her pet kitten. I thought this was a crazy report. Nobody ever talks about this woman, and it was overlooked, in my opinion. Kimberly Thompson, Beyonce's former drummer, has filed for a civil harassment restraining order against Beyonce, and court records viewed by Pitchfork confirm. According to documents, Thompson alleges that Beyonce is practicing extreme witchcraft, quote, and magic spells of sexual molestation to harass her. Among other allegations, Thompson also claims that Beyonce murdered her pet kitten. Crazy. You don't get accused of this type of stuff, in my opinion. Like some stuff is just, I always say it, man, where there's smoke, there's fire. You guys know the saying. So, this woman, I have a video I want to play from her speaking to show you guys what's going on. But she said in the email that the accuracy of the documents that were posted are confirmed. She said, all accusations I survived are real. So that's what she had to say. This is something that wasn't widely reported, and I don't know why, but this is the woman speaking about the situation. Check it out.
I definitely did that to definitely be so clear to cut the cord that I don't want to have anything to do with this person at all. I don't want to work with them. I'm even embarrassed that I have worked with them because it's literally shattered everything that I've tried to build after doing that work in my life.
I don't know if you guys can hear that clearly, but if you can't, she said that I regret working with Beyonce because she shattered everything I tried to do after in my life, which, a lot of times if you walk away, it's sad at least that if you walk away from these powerful people, they always try to ruin you after. Jay-Z has that criticism a lot as well. That everybody that is working with Jay-Z is cool until you say, I want to leave Jay-Z. From J. Cole to Bobby Shmurda said that. Meek Mill had complaints about Jay-Z when he tried to walk away. I think Megan Thee Stallion. They all love Jay-Z until they was like, yo, I kind of want to do something different in my career. And then they say Jay-Z tried to ruin them right after. So this is something that not only is Beyonce associated with, but this accusation is something her husband is also associated with. And if you guys can't hear this clearly, if the volume ain't high enough, I'm sorry. This is the volume that the video has. So blame Daily Mail, not me.
I always said when I was a kid, I never would want to regret anything, but this I regret. I regret that we ever worked together because it's turned my life completely upside down. She's not been able to let me go. She's not been able to let me progress into a mature woman and work with other people, build other great entities and statues and trophies that develop in the arts world and music. She's just been a savage, stealing my intellectual property, stealing my ideas.
Wow.
Just basically doing anything and everything to damage any type of happiness that I could have had. It's just been a nightmare to try to move on and do other things for other people without it getting totally destroyed. Other people I've worked with that have been on a plateau have been paid to fire me. I found this out. And
it's crazy, man.
It just kept happening. So it was like, it was a pattern. You know, get really excited about something, you build it up, you invest all this time and everything in it, and then, you know, she comes and pays people to fire me and insult me, and it's just been disastrous.
If true is crazy, man. You know? And maybe it's because of the claim. Maybe it's because she exposed Beyonce, the witchcraft stuff behind the scenes. But she's saying that Beyonce is not allowing her to progress in her career. Like, she's not allowing her to work with nobody else. If she tries to work with somebody else, Beyonce comes and pays them people off and says, you know, you're not allowed to work. I'm not going to let you work in this town, pretty much. It's crazy.
I think there's a huge amount of jealousy there that she hasn't discussed with me, and but everybody knows, you know, like it's interesting that, you know, the public doesn't know all these things, but the people that are associated in the higher powers, to say more or less, do, you know, and I've just been bullied this entire time. This has been going on for a very long time.
Let's move on. But that's her statements, man. Other people have made statements about Beyonce too, saying, you know, things about her witchcraft. And I kind of want to get to, I don't think everybody's making this accusation for no reason. So let's listen to some of this stuff. Let's watch some of these clips and hear what other people are saying about her. And then we're going to jump into the Jeffrey Epstein part of it and the Epstein files and Jay-Z's part of it and all that other stuff. We also, I'm going to react to Beyonce's friends, her female friends that are also in the Epstein files. And it's starting to get a little weird because the people surrounding Jay-Z are in the Epstein files as well as Jay-Z. And then Beyonce's name, as far as concert tickets that were purchased or talked about in the Epstein files, were in there. And now it's starting to seem like all Beyonce's people that Beyonce has gotten support from or supported publicly are starting to be brought up, and they're all starting to respond too. So we're going to talk about that.
Beyonce had to go to her to get her womb unlocked and became her. Well, became an embodiment of her to lead everyone else into it. Man, they did Yoruba spells and stuff in the streets during the anarchy and the uprising during the pandemic. That's what they were doing. The 3 women that were over BLM, they're lesbian witches. And they were doing Yoruba ceremonies in the streets. And that's what brought the unrest to our community. This was the unleashing. That couldn't have happened if hip hop hadn't laid the foundation. Couldn't have happened. Couldn't have happened.
I got another clip from a rapper named Stunnerful Vegas. Now, Stunnerful Vegas was an artist that was signed to DaBaby. DaBaby brought him in, and we saw pictures early on of Stunnerful Vegas and Beyonce together, which you can see right there. And everybody thought that was weird because it's like he was a relatively new rapper, and he was already around Beyonce. Now, I know DaBaby had a pretty big platform, but, you know, Stunnerful Vegas being around Beyonce that early kind of was crazy. And if you hear what he had to say about Beyonce worshiping Oshun, the false god Oshun, at the time of her Lemonade album, it goes back to everything that people were saying about Beyonce, man. Like, and this is why I tell you guys, it looks like she worships whatever god, or she picks a deity every album. That's what it looks like. Check it out.
Man, E5 don't make no mistake, bro.
What's E5? Because I heard of it.
Yeah, a lot of people practice it like Senorita or somebody.
Beyonce.
Some people do. Beyonce practice
How
E5.
do
She
you
a
know
child of
Beyonce
Ocean.
practices it?
She a child of Ocean. She got songs. She got songs like
Oh, for real?
talking about her ancestor. Every time she dressed up like her ancestor. When she was pregnant, she dressed up as Oshun.
Oh, wow. So have you ever spoken with the dead?
Yeah, I feed them.
What do you mean?
I feed them all the time. I take care of them for them to take care of me every day.
Crazy.
This is a religion that originated in Africa?
Yeah. It's the religion that they say all African Americans are supposed to practice.
Because, like, I've seen movies and I've seen stuff online.
It ain't no movie. It ain't no movie.
They'll have the altar.
It ain't no movie. Hey, bro, I'm trying to tell you right now, you brainwashed. The way you talking, you can talk to Ifa about anything. Once you find out who you a child of.
Child of Christ, bro. The one true and living God. But what he's referring to is what people always talk about with Beyonce. You know, when he's saying she was worshiping and she was wearing the outfits while pregnant, this is what he's talking about. Look at these pictures. You know what I'm saying? That's what it looked like. And it's something weird about these false gods where it's always fertility and babies related, just like the false god ball that Epstein worshipped and Epstein counterparts. Like, it was all about baby sacrifice and fertility and like bro, you know, during the Lemonade album, a report came out from Yahoo where they talked about this different thing, this Beyonce lemonade theory. The report said this Beyonce lemonade meaning theory involving the African goddess, false god, Oshun, is mind-blowing. Not long after Beyonce broke the internet with the release of her visuals for Lemonade, various interpretations of the meaning behind the visual for her album hit social media. Here's one of the theories right here. Said they attributed this to the false god Oshun. So you guys can see that. Said the Yoruba people, an African ethnic group that occupies southwestern Nigeria and Benin, have or believe in a pantheon of 401 gods, false gods, lowercase g, that are known in the traditional Yoruba religion as Orisha. Yoruba people regard Oshun as the deity of love and fertility. So we all know that Beyonce has been accused of this type of stuff for a long time. And there was a pastor, Pastor Richard Lorenzo, who has repeatedly spoken about this, saying that he saw when he before he became a Christian, he used to practice witchcraft. And he said that he would see Beyonce's family coming to the witchcraft store, and he's seen it with his own eyes in New Orleans. Check it out.
For the devil, I was supposed to be doing it for the Lord. So I went to New Orleans, man, and this is when it was solidified in my heart. I'm getting, I went to this specific, it's called the Botanica. There's a Puerto Rican guy, he's a dual inducted warlock, Santeria, voodoo, Haitian voodoo. His spiritual mother is a Haitian lady, and they start teaching me more. And I'm there for about a whole week. And he's telling me, I'm the one that's supposed to induct you. You need to come to Puerto Rico and Haiti with me. We're going to go in October, right, during Halloween time. And you got to sleep at a cemetery. You got to sleep in Puerto Rico, at Haiti first for about a week. Then you got to go to Puerter Rico. And I'm thinking, okay, well.
He told you had to sleep inside of a cemetery?
Yeah, if you ever study people that are in Ifa, Yoruba, Santeria, voodoo, they'll tell you, in order to get inducted, you have to sleep in a cemetery and be tortured. Like, they actually put you through rituals.
There go that Ifa
like hazing,
again.
like kind of what you see in fraternity sometimes.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, bro. It's real. It's all. You probably could look that up all online, man. Yeah. So I'm thinking this is it, but I was kind of nervous, man. And I'll never forget one of those days I was being trained up. I'm behind the register where the altar is and all that. And Solange Knowles walks in. Beyonce's sister.
And wait, what city were you in?
I'm in New Orleans in the Botanica.
Yeah.
Like in the cut, like kind of like what's that street that everybody goes
to?
Bourbon.
Yeah, it's like 15 minutes walking from Bourbon. And I promise you, bro. She walks in with her boyfriend. I don't know if that's still her boyfriend. It was like a Trini guy with glasses. And I'm looking like, okay, am I seeing things? Nah, this ain't her. And he's talking to me. And I was like, bro, is that Solange? She's like, oh, yeah, she always comes in here. Her and her family, they always are doing rituals.
Her family.
Yes.
Wow.
That's crazy, right?
That is crazy.
Yeah.
So dude just dropped the dime. He said all of them are
All of
regulars in that particular. Why that particular shop?
So because they were in the area that she was going to, like, it's like a lot of these witches and warlocks, they have specific areas they go to get witchcraft. So like, just for example, like, how about this? Like,
they trust it. They trust this place to have like these powerful items that spiritually have already proven to work.
It's no different than when we get up and go to church on Sunday. We get up and go to church on Sunday, and for us, that's regular. Like, we go in here to worship, we go in here to praise God, we go in here to fellowship with each other, we go in here to read our Bibles, we go in here to sing, and that's these other false religions are doing the same thing, man. But she happens to be very powerful. Beyonce happens to be very powerful business-wise and influence-wise. And it's just deception. Beyonce's mom actually used to be Christian. And here's a big problem in Christianity that we don't talk about, in my opinion. We don't talk about how certain it's not all denominations, but there's certain denominations in Christianity that are extremely harsh. And people don't know, if you don't know anything about Christianity, then you would understand, you would feel like all of the denominations are like that. All Christians are like that. Let me say it like that. And this article kind of explained how Beyonce's mom was dealt with really harshly by Catholics in the Catholic school. Now, denominations are not wrong. There's nothing wrong with denominations in Christianity, but the Bible talks about how, like, if you go read 1 Corinthians, I think it's chapter 12. I think it's chapter 12. Let me make sure. It talks about how denominations are like, all of them are necessary, and like not one is better than the other. Pretty sure it's 12. Yeah, 1 Corinthians chapter 12. Man, I've been reading my Bible. Y'all see, I'm starting to get good. And if you go read it, it talks about this. But Beyonce's mom, and I'll get into that in a second, but Beyonce's mom talked about how she was harmed by the Catholic Church. And this is why we got to be careful how we treat people as believers, because, I mean, Beyonce could have been for us. She could have been. But because I believe it's because her mom was harmed by the Catholic Church, she probably pushed her kids away from Christianity. Same thing in Jay-Z's story, actually. Jay-Z spoke about how his grandfather was a pastor and was sleeping with kids. Crazy. Some people would say the apple don't fall far from the tree. I'm just playing. Tina Knowles attended a school where nuns ruled the roost. She said there were teachers who told her she didn't belong, that she was unsalvageable and a bad seed. The words punctured her soul and made her hate going to school. They thought they were doing the best thing, Tina Knowles said, but it hurt terribly. She would run home to tell her mother and could not understand why her mom would never take her side. She didn't know her mother was working herself to the bone for the church to get Knowles and her siblings an education. So basically, her mama was working for the church and sending her to Catholic school. This is how her mama was getting them the education. From her own experience at school and in her childhood community, Beyonce's mom said, it's so important to really think about what you're saying to children. Labels can affect them for a lifetime. So she said she still deals with this also, I believe, in this article. She said, I still fight with that sometimes, and I'm 71 years old. It's in the back of my head. So when you see that, man, I just had a revelation. That's going to be on tomorrow's live stream. We're going to talk about that. How Jay-Z's grandfather was a pervert as well. Jay spoke about that. And I'm going to show you guys what he said. This actually runs anyways. So, yeah. So Beyonce's mom spoke about that. And I believe that, that's part of the reason that Beyonce and them ain't believers. You feel me? Or they don't seem to be believers. Now, a lot of people would feel like Jay-Z is the ringleader of, like, Jay-Z is the one that got Beyonce out here doing weird stuff. And it's because there's clips like this of Jay-Z talking about how he met Beyonce at 16 years old. And people say, you know, Jay groomed her. And you even hear Beyonce talking about how Jay taught her how to be a woman and different things like that.
He taught me how to be a woman. He taught me how to lead. He taught me how to be a friend. He taught me how to be a woman. He taught me how to lead. He taught me how to be a friend.
So because of clips like that, and you hear Jay talking about how he met Beyonce at 16 years old.
I know her. So, but how long have you known her? Wow, a long time. How long? 10 years? However long she's been recording. That's when I met her. Don't you remember how long it was? Yeah, when I met her. I mean, was it 5 years? Was it? I met her 10 years ago. I met her 10 years ago. But
people say, you know, you met her 10 years ago. This interview was done during Jay-Z's promotion of his American Gangster album, which came out in 2007. Jay-Z was 27, 28 years old at the time. He said, I met her 10 years ago, which would have made, Jay-Z was 37, 38 at the time. And he said, I met her 10 years ago, which would have made him 27 or 28. And she would have been 16. And so people say, you know, you met her, you groomed her, and you waited for her to get older, which makes people automatically blame Jay-Z for the weird stuff that Beyonce does. Because it's like, oh, you turned her out as a kid. You know what I'm saying? That's what people will say.
did you say to yourself at that time, wow? That's a fantastic talent. Was that what you said? Yeah.
No, that ain't what you said, bro. Come on, bro. That ain't what you said. You said, oh, I'm going to wait on her. I'm just playing. I'm just playing for legal purposes. It's only entertainment. Beyonce lost 10 million followers. Jay-Z lost 100,000 followers over the Epstein files release. And they were named, Jay-Z was named 86 times in the files from the FBI hotline tips that appeared in a 2019 FBI crisis intake report, and from the anonymous caller who called in 1996, insinuating that, or accusing Jay-Z, not even insinuating, just flat out accusing Jay-Z and Harvey Weinstein of things that actually Jay-Z was accused of with the Diddy case as well. If you remember in the Diddy lawsuit, when they said that the 13-year-old girl or the woman who was 13 when she was assaulted allegedly, came out and said that Jay-Z didn't do anything to her. He was just in the room watching. That's exactly what the Epstein files say about Jay-Z. Like, it says Harvey Weinstein was inserting his fingers in some part of the girl, and Jay-Z was just in the room watching. He didn't touch her. And so, you know, but it does say that Jay-Z is mentioned 86 times in the Epstein files. Some of them refer to unrelated website URLs or references to concert tickets. And that's also how Beyonce is mentioned. And so another person that was mentioned in the Epstein files is this man right here, Tommy Mottola. Tommy Mottola is an executive that Michael Jackson hated. Michael Jackson used to go at this dude all the time. He used to constantly try to expose how Tommy Mottola is a devil. And you guys know the famous clip from Michael Jackson where he said Tommy Mottola is a devil. I don't know if I have that queued up. But Tommy Mottola is also the person that discovered who? Beyonce. He was named in the Epstein files 600 times. They say it could be up to 750 times, but for sure 600 times. And he's still actually running around. This guy was the CEO of Sony, and that's a big connection between the beef with him and Michael Jackson as well. But he was also Mariah Carey's ex-husband, and Mariah Carey divorced him and said he was an extremely evil man. And he was a close friend of Jeffrey Epstein even after Epstein was convicted. And he also was a business partner of Jay-Z. He also discovered Beyonce, according to reports. You know, he's the person that put Beyonce on. Let me show you guys an image of, and this dude moves in silence. Like, he don't got no whole bunch of pictures out there with, you know, a bunch of different celebrities. Like, so the fact that he have a picture, in my opinion, the fact that he has a picture with Jay-Z at all, you see him and Jay-Z right there together. It's crazy. They used to do a business together. They had some partnerships or whatever back in the day. And also in that business deal that they had going on, another person that a lot of people accuse of being a weirdo and participating in some weird behavior is Will Smith. And I guess Will Smith was involved in that deal. You see Jay-Z, Tommy Mottola right there on that left-hand side. Will Smith right next to him and Jay-Z right there. And it looks like, I don't know who these people, I think that might be Steve Stout and Jada or something. I don't know. But this person, Tommy Mottola, is somebody else that was accused in the Epstein files. And we got some responses from different people, but we haven't got no response from him yet. He's currently still partnered with Sony Music. He's also the guy that they accuse of having something to do with Michael Jackson passing, because Michael Jackson owned a subsidiary of Sony, which was Sony ATV. That was the name of the company, Sony ATV. And it was worth $600 million per year when Michael Jackson owned it. And since Michael Jackson passed, years later, about 7 years later, Sony reacquired Michael Jackson's ownership, 50% of the ownership of Sony ATV, the company that Michael Jackson owned. This is why people say Mike owned the Beatles catalog and different. He owned all the catalogs under that company. And so this dude, was a CEO, and then he ended up stepping down as CEO decades ago, and then he still became a partner. He's still to this day a partner with Sony. But there's a lot of implications in that as well. We talked about on the live stream yesterday, so go watch that live stream, the Michael Jackson one that I just did, and we broke down all the details of that. But one of his claims to fame is he discovered and mentored Beyonce for 15, 20 years. And so he was really tied to Epstein heavily. It said Mottola reportedly visited Epstein's Manhattan and Paris residences between 2006 and 2008. By the way, Michael Jackson died in 2009. Following Epstein's 2008 conviction for soliciting sexual acts from minors. So even after Epstein was convicted of being a pervert and a predator, this dude was still hanging out with him. It said that they had personal communications. Emails showed the two exchanged gifts and discussed high-end travel logistics. Mottola asked for recommendations on renting a 6-seater Sikorsky helicopter for his family from Epstein in 2014. Epstein reached out to him and said that Epstein reached out to Mottola and said that Mottola would be safe from scrutiny. In the 2017 exchange, following the rise of the Me Too movement, Jeffrey Epstein allegedly told Tommy Mottola that he was, quote, safe. Mottola reportedly replied asking if he should shut up and lay low, quote, shut up and lay low, to which Epstein agreed that he should. Y'all was in cahoots with each other in some weird way. Records suggest that Mottola connected Epstein with a private investigator in 2019 to help address legal allegations. So he also was trying to help Epstein the year Epstein was killed, which was 2019. In my opinion, I think Epstein was killed. I have to say, in my opinion, for legal purposes. He also tried to help Epstein with those legal things. It also said that he was given a lot of gifts. He gave a lot of gifts to Epstein. Let me pull that up. Let me pull that up. I had the gifts specifically. It was like a box of chocolates, and he pulled up to hotels, and he always was, you could tell that they just had a really close friendship. In the files, the documents highlighted several specific items that Tommy Mottola sent to Epstein. It said Bridgewater chocolates. Mottola sent a huge box of these chocolates to Epstein in December 2011. He also sent a gift basket to Epstein in September 2017. In one text exchange, the two reportedly shared a marquee from the Donna Summer musical, which Mottola produced. And then they obviously had the high-level connections. They always had professional referrals that they share with each other, which is crazy. Also, Whoopi Goldberg. Whoopi Goldberg has responded to being in the Epstein files. This is somebody that's a super public supporter of Beyonce as well. She went to some Beyonce shows and different things and always has statements supporting Beyonce. You could look those up. But she has come out and replied to her being in the Epstein files. And I want you guys to hear this, and I wanted to react to this. I haven't heard it yet, so I'm going to react to this live with you guys. I waited till we got on live to do this. Let's see what she had to say.
Now, in the name of transparency, can you put up my name is in the files? Yes. And what does it say? It says, Whoopi needs a plane to get to Monaco. John Lennon's charity, it should say Julian Lennon's charity, is paying for it. They don't.
Nah, hold on. Let me zoom in and try to read this ourselves. Because what's she talking about? I can't even see it clearly. I don't like when people read it to me because, bro, let me read it. Let me read it. You know what I mean? It should say Julian Lewis. Nah, it should say what it say. What it say? What it say? What Ice Cube say in Friday? What he say? What it say? Let's hear her out. Though.
They don't want to charter, so they're looking for private owners. Here's the info. And they give all the information. And they're saying, do you want to offer your G2? Okay.
And it looks like they said no thanks.
Yeah.
So in other words, anybody can be on this list.
Well, this is my point, because I'm telling you, when I tell you people are trying to turn me into, I wasn't his girlfriend. I wasn't his friend.
You were too old for him.
Hold on, bro. They trying to bypass what that document say a little too quick for me. I need to see it for myself, man. I'm gonna play this, but I'm gonna try to find the document myself. Because I need to see it myself, bro. Because I don't like the way she read that. Don't skip past that. Hold on. Let us read it ourselves. What you trying to say, man? I'm gonna let her little reaction play, but I'm gonna find that document. Hold on.
I was not only too old, but it was at a time, where this is just not. You used to have facts before you said
this is a fact.
Trump is on the list 38,000 times.
Well, I can't speak to him, but I'm speaking about me.
But Trump, but Trump. Shut up. Shut up. We talking about her right now. I can't stand when people do that. Bro, we ain't talking about but nobody else. We talking about but Whoopi Goldberg. You sitting right here. Why is you in the Epstein files? What they saying about you? But Trump, but shut your man, knock it off. Knock it off. I'm gonna get that document. Hold on. I'm gonna let y'all listen to this, man. Give me some time.
1,000 times.
Well, I can't speak to him, but this is just not. You used to have facts before you said stuff.
But Trump is on the list 38,000 times.
Well, I can't speak to him, but I'm speaking about me because I'm getting dragged. People actually believe that I was with him. It's like, honey, come on. Yeah. Every man that I've ever been with, you've known about him because either the Inquirer wrote it about it. Yeah. People wrote about this stuff. So no, I never had this, and no, I didn't get on the plane because you know what I would have to do to get on the plane? Fly. They were trying to,
and she doesn't fly.
So they're trying to get me. They're trying to get me to get on a plane to get to this thing for Julian Lennon.
Yeah, but the thing is, they dropped like 300 names. Yes. And it's like flood the zone because when you're looking, there are people like Marilyn Monroe who was dead.
Elvis.
Yeah, a lot of people, because a lot of the reasons your name can be mentioned are news articles, third-party emails, contacts.
It don't matter.
Wealthy, famous people often cross in professional and social circles. So that's not the surprising part.
Yeah, but it's surprising when there's details about you. Man, look, everybody's going to try to separate themselves from it when they hit the fan. Everybody. You didn't think that your name would ever come out. And now some of these, I agree that some mentions, it's like, okay, hold on. This is intentional. Like when I showed you guys when I did the Michael Jackson live stream, and I showed you guys the redacted photos and the unredacted photos. And I said, they redacted these photos to make Michael Jackson look bad because when you unredact them, you see that it's just his children. Why would they redact his own children's face? You trying to make us feel like he was weirder than he was. There is some stuff like that in there. Of course, with 3 million files, 4 million files, or whatever they say it is, you're going to have some misinformation in there. But I don't like the dismissal of all of it because you don't like the way your name is being brought up now. Because when it's, and I don't care. Trump, he had a bunch of mentions in there too. There's a lot of people in there that had a bunch of mentions that I was like, yeah, I look at you sideways now, bro. I don't care who it is. Everybody should be, on some level held accountable. But, and even if it's just, you got to give an explanation for what this is. But I'm not going to dismiss everybody's name and they're like, oh, well, celebrities just hang out all the time. Nah, doctors hang out with doctors. Perverts hang out with perverts too. Weirdos hang out with weirdos too. It ain't just the connection is y'all just celebrities. Because every celebrity is not in the Epstein files. And some of them have been around just as long as y'all. Everybody not in there. So the ones that are in there, we going to look at funny. Because why are you in there? This is the actual document Whoopi Goldberg had. Let me see what she's talking about. It says Whoopi Goldberg. This is a email from Jeffrey Epstein, by the way. So Epstein is the one sending this email. He said, no thanks. And then it said, Whoopi Goldberg needs a plane to get to Monaco. John Lennon's charity is paying for it. One thing I want you guys to kind of take note of is how these people use these nonprofits, the foundations, and the charities to mask the fact that they're very evil people. Like they try to, we do a lot of charity and philanthropic work. You're evil. I use the analogy of a cup all the time with you guys when I talk about this. If I take a cup of water and I take some doo-doo, and it's only 1 spoon of doo-doo, but I got a gallon of water. Let's say this is a gallon of water instead of a cup, and I put 1 spoon of doo-doo in there. Would you drink it? No, because you know that's doo-doo water. It don't matter how clean the water is or how much the rest of the water is good. Once I put that doo-doo in there, it's doo-doo water. So you doing charity, and I did all this charity, and I look how much I gave back. But I was also, I was also involved with some predators. Yeah, I did protect some predators, but I did a lot of charity. Yeah, I was on the Epstein Island, but I did do a lot of charity though in my life. Like, bro, you still doo-doo water. You're doo-doo water. Bottom line. So, anyways, that's something that these fake elitists try to lean on. Like, oh, I did charity. That was a side note. Whoopi Goldberg needs a plane to get to Monaco, the email says. John Lennon's charity is paying for it. They don't want to charter, so they're looking for private owners. Here's the info. White Feather charity ball plane. White Feather Foundation is Julian Lennon's charity. May 10th, 2013. Let me put it full screen so you guys can see it, because she obviously didn't want people reading through this for whatever. And she just, it was nothing. Why are you the one that they're referencing trying to get a plane? May 10th, 2013, he will present WFF inaugural charity ball fundraiser with Whoopi Goldberg hosting in Monaco. There you go again. You were hosting the fundraiser. Money's raised for the first fundraiser to go to support water and humanitarian conservation, time with the UN Declaration of 2013 as World Water Year. HSH, Prince Albert, Prince Charlene will attend and support a friendship of WFF in need of a private jet craft with these travel dates. So you was rubbing shoulders with these people, Whoopi. These are people that you were rubbing shoulders with, that they felt like you were so valuable to them that they needed to get you an airplane. And they need to make sure, because her name was mentioned 3 times in this email. It went on to say some departure dates. And it says the scheduled jet fell through yesterday and they are scrambling to get Whoopi over to Monaco. I am sure the jet owner could attend the fete, I don't know, and get fuel reimbursed. Otherwise, if it is to be paid for, we love to know the cost to factor it in for John. She said that it was supposed to say Julian Lennon, like it was supposed to say somebody else, but they said John's name twice, by the way. So that don't seem like a typo to me. So the fact that she tried to change it, like, bro, it says John Lennon's charity and then it says John at the bottom of the email too. So how's that a typo? Anyways, because didn't Whoopi just say that? Like, oh, it was supposed to say Julian or whatever she said, but it says John twice. Anyways, obviously, the more money we keep, the more goes directly to the charity. What you want to offer the G2. So for whatever reason, we don't know, but they were serious about getting Whoopi Goldberg there. So let's not pretend like it's nothing, Whoopi. Let's not pretend. That's my opinion. Hillary Clinton also has come forward. Hillary Clinton has come forward and responded to her husband being heavily in those files in the Epstein case. And in my opinion, every time Bill Clinton do some stupid stuff, Hillary is there like the cleanup woman Clean up woman is a woman who she always there to make sure that Bill, like she's like Bill's handler. Like you're so stupid. Let me fix it. Like all what Franklin Saint say in what Franklin Saint say in Snowfall. Let me get us out of this like I got us out of every motherfucking thing else. That's Hillary Clinton. Just calm down, keep your head down, keep it quiet, and let me get us out of this like I got us out of every motherfucking thing else. That's Hillary Clinton. So when you hear this response, that's all I see. Check it out.
The links that there have been. You know, we have no links.
Cap.
We have a very clear record that we've been willing to talk about, which my husband has said. He took some rides on the airplane for his charitable work. I don't recall ever meeting him.
Did you ever meet Ghislaine Maxwell?
I did on a few occasions.
Notice the specific wording. I don't recall ever meeting him. Talking about Epstein. So if a picture or some documents come out that they did meet each other, it can always be, oh, I said I didn't recall it. That's literally manipulation. It's leaving open-ended. You know, it's an open-ended conclusion. Like, oh, I don't recall meeting him, but if I did, I mean, somebody would have to prove it to me. Did you meet Ghislaine? Or however you pronounce it? I did meet her. So you met her, but you ain't met Epstein. Cap.
The people go to the Clinton Global Initiative. So it to me is not something that is really at the heart of what this matter is about. They are accused, and in both cases were convicted of horrific crimes against girls and women. That should be the focus. And we are more than happy to say what we know, which is very limited and totally unrelated to their behavior or their crimes. And we want to do it in public because let's make this transparent.
There are calls for another individual
She
who denies wrongdoing to go before Congress on this matter. Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, formerly Prince Andrew.
She looked tired of cleaning up Bill Clinton's messes. She like, I am too old to be cleaning up this man's messes. And we know Bill Clinton said he called for the release of all the Epstein files. He said, if I'm going down Nino Brown, this is bigger than Nino Brown. If I go down, everybody going down, I'm taking everybody with me. That's what Bill Clinton said. He said, I want all the Epstein files unredacted and released because y'all throwing me y'all throwing me under the bus. Bill Clinton said, I want everybody with me. And you could just see in Hillary's face, she just tired of it. She got them dead. I'm about to lie to you straight to your face eyes. I'm about to lie. I'm trying to not show any emotion so you believe my lie. It's clear as day. Oh, we don't really have any connection. Y'all got some connections. He in them hot tubs. Old Billy in them hot tubs. He was, he was there. So what's that about? What's that about? Oh, it was, and notice how she went straight back to the charity thing because they think that word is like a magic word to make us stop looking at, oh, I did charity. You know how much I've done for charity? Bro, doo-doo water. Doo-doo water. Nobody want to hear that.
Do you think he should testify?
I think everybody should testify.
Look, including the former prince.
I think everybody should testify who is asked to testify. I just want it to be fair. I want everybody treated the same way. That's not
AKA, I want everybody treated the way my husband getting treated, and I want them dragged the way we getting dragged over here.
not true for my husband and me because other witnesses were asked to testify. They gave written statements under oath. We offered that. They want to pull us. Why do they want to pull us into this? To divert attention from President Trump. This is not complicated.
How does this divert attention from President Trump when Trump is one of the people that's getting some of the most backlash, bro? He in there thousands of times. I seen a video. I don't know who was speaking, the guy's name, but he was saying how Trump had thousands of transactions, financial transactions with Epstein. I don't know if that's true, but that's what the dude said. He looked like he was testifying in one of them Congress style rooms, one of them political rooms. So, you know, a lot of what she's saying is some nonsense. This ain't diverting no attention from Trump. This is putting the spotlight on Trump, bro. What you doing in that? We don't care about nothing he talking about neither. What all y'all doing in these Epstein files, bro? See, they used to us disagreeing and being able to use politics. You hang out with Trump. Stop pretending. I can't stand these people. Bro, she trying to act like she don't like Trump. Like, y'all, if Trump walked in that room right now, y'all be in there acting like y'all ain't got no problem with each other. That's what bothers me about these people, man. They trying to act like it's division there, and they only do that to divide people, so we'll be distracted from both of y'all is in these Epstein files. All of y'all. All of y'all. I don't want to hear none of that, man. Personally. I don't want to hear it. I'm tired of the division. Look, if we don't agree about nothing, you know why I believe one of the reasons that there's evidence of God? You know what one of the evidence of God is? Universal moral principle. Everybody, no matter where you are across this globe, in general, feels like the Epstein files are crazy. We all feel like anything that sacrifices children, the cannibalism of babies, which was reported in the Epstein files, they were talking about eating the intestines of babies. Any crime against children and old people, nobody's going to disagree that that's wrong unless they're sick in the head. We can all agree on that. The Bible says that the law of God's law is written on the heart of man. That means God put morals in our heart. It's one of the evidences of God. Outside of, there's other evidences of God, in my opinion, but that's one of the huge ones. That morality is not subjective. We all have an objective, one reality that we live in when it comes to morals. We know that killing children is wrong. Everybody agrees with that. And so when we hear these politicians speak, they trying to deflect from the fact that, hey, bro, what's up with this? Like, what's up with this Epstein dude? Why is nobody being arrested? Who are y'all protecting? Why are y'all redacting all these names? Why not release all 6 million files? Why only release 3.5 million, if supposedly? And I heard it was only really 2.7 million. Why not? Why are y'all protecting all these people? Why do y'all all have the same lawyers? Why do y'all all have the same representatives? Why are government agents, government officials, and celebrities and business CEOs and executives, why are all these people tied to these different things? Why are the politicians on planes? Why is Bill Gates talking about he needed Epstein for money connections when he's the richest man in the world? Like, you can't get a money connection without Epstein. What's really going on? Why was this allowed to continue for 25, 30 years? Why didn't y'all try to stop this ahead of time? Why did it take all these children being kidnapped, victimized, and dying for y'all to step up and say, we got to stop this? Why? Why are y'all only talking about it now? Because this was the truth. All these things existed 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago. Why are y'all all here talking about it now, trying to defend it and clean it up? Y'all putting fires out, and we see through it, man. And you can't keep insulting the intelligence of everyday people, because this is what they believe. They believe a person is smart, but people are dumb. That's what they believe. They believe if we keep people grouped up, if we get people in a group, they will argue with each other, and we could just manipulate the argument, and then they never see what we're doing over here. It's puppeteering. I think everybody got to keep talking about this stuff. I think everybody got to keep discussing these topics, keep separating good from evil, keep making it clear to your children and the people around you, all the people that will listen to you around you, that this optical illusion of what success is not real. These people are not successful. They're evil. They're demonic. And if somebody doesn't, in my opinion, I need to hear you say Christ out your mouth, and I need to see the fruits of you saying that. Because a lot of people, like Christ said, you love me with your lips, but your heart is far from me. That's what Jesus Christ said. He said, why do you say you love me, but you do not keep my commands? You don't do what I say, but you say you love me. Christ said that a good tree can't bear bad fruit, and a bad tree can't bear good fruit. Good people don't do bad things, essentially. We all sin, right? But there's nobody good that's out there hurting children. There's nobody good that's out there running these facilities, these islands, and hanging out with these people. This dude was convicted of some of these crimes. Epstein was convicted of these crimes, and it's not just about Epstein. He's just a catalyst for a broader conversation, because this is still going on. But he was convicted of these crimes, and people were still hanging out with him. This stuff didn't die with Epstein. It didn't go away with Epstein. It's still going on right now, and they're keeping us. The real distraction is everybody stay focused on Epstein while this is actually still happening with people that we don't know their names of. So if we keep everybody focused on Epstein, then everybody just focused there. And we don't look into none of the other powerful people and their connections to who are they connected to and who else was connected to Epstein. And you don't go down the path of trying to figure out, oh, you was connected to Epstein, so is this guy. Now y'all connected together and both of y'all are still alive. So this is probably still going on between people that y'all know or y'all. That's the connection they don't want us making. That's why they're trying to stop it. Because they want us to only focus on Epstein. And people ain't doing that. People going, wait a minute, who was connected to him? Who was connected to those people? You telling me that Jay-Z's lawyer, Alex Spiro, was the mentee of the lawyer Benjamin Brofman? And Benjamin Brofman was Epstein, Diddy, and Weinstein's lawyer? Alex Spiro is Elon Musk, Jay-Z, and Alec Baldwin's lawyer. All of those guys named in the Epstein file. Alex Spiro left Benjamin Brofman to go work for the Quinn Emanuel law firm. The Quinn Emanuel law firm is named in the Epstein files in relation to the New England Patriots owner Robert Kraft, because Epstein referred the Quinn Emanuel law firm to Robert Kraft when Robert Kraft was going through his massage parlor prostitution case in Florida, which was 30 minutes away from Epstein's house. And in the Epstein files, the emails said that from Goldberger being Epstein's lawyer, that some of the local attention will be taken off of Epstein and Epstein's Palm Beach mansion in Florida because Robert Kraft was going through that down the street. His lawyer said that to him, like, hey, we're going to lose some of the police are going to stop looking at us so much because what Kraft got into down the street. Insinuating that they knew Kraft. If that's what the files insinuate, we knew Kraft enough to send him a law firm recommendation. We knew that this was going on down the street. Who was Robert Kraft connected to? Jay-Z. Jay-Z is connected to all these people, it seems like. Tommy Mottola in the Epstein files, Marina Abramovich, the Satanist woman, the spirit cooking woman in the Epstein files, Bill Gates. Jay-Z's been seen in the studio with Bill Gates, Epstein files. Epstein's lawyer was Jay-Z's lawyer's big homie. Diddy's lawyer, and Diddy and Jay-Z connected. Like, we seen this. It's not just him. It's not just Epstein. It's not just Jay-Z. It's not just Mottola or Robert Kraft or Trump or Clinton's or Chris. It's all of these people. All these people are connected in one way or another. And the more you go down that rabbit hole, the more you get to Clive Davis. No, I'm just playing. I'm just playing. For legal purposes, I'm just playing. Man, we're going to keep going down this, man. I ain't going to stop talking about it. We're going to be talking about this for a while because all these people are connected. And it's a lot of weird stuff going on, man. And like I always tell you guys, entertainment is the greatest export that America has. We don't have no real natural resources. That's why we go on and raiding Venezuela. That's why we just taking Venezuela. Like, we just going to take it because we don't got nothing here. We don't, the oil is all used up. We're not producing nothing. This is why we just going to go over here and get the opium for our medical industries when we go overseas to fight these wars. When we get to Vietnam, we're gonna fight that Vietnam war because we need the opium. Why do we need the opium? Because the medical industry, the pharmaceutical industry. This is why this stuff is going on, bro. But who am I? I'm just a young nigga from the hood. I don't know nothing. You know what I'm saying? I'm just talking on YouTube. I don't know what's going on, man. Anyways, that's all I got for you guys on this live stream. I'll see you guys on tomorrow's live stream. God bless you guys. If you want to support the growth of the channel, you can donate on Cash App. Salute to Cash App at ULegend, ULGND. It's right there at the bottom of the screen. Make sure you subscribe so you get the notifications of our next live streams every time we come out with one. I'm going to try to come out with one every Monday through Friday, every day. And I'm going to start putting content on the other channels as well because I got some other channels. But, we're going to keep going down this rabbit hole and making these connections. Until next time, God bless you. God bless your children. Protect the children. Love each other, man. And understand that it's not so much division in the world. They try to portray it a certain way online. But in real life, if you go outside, you touch grass, and you talk to people, you're going to see that we all pretty much on the same page. And we all live in the same lives. That's all I got for you guys. Christ is the leader of my life. I hope he's the leader of yours. So I'll see you guys on tomorrow's live stream. Praise God. In Jesus' name, amen.